Your throes are a time of transition and change. You had 10 years of trial and error, and now it's time to get serious. These are 15 mistakes you can't afford to make anymore. Welcome to Productive Millionaires. Number 1, not thinking of retirement. Newsflash: if you only rely on your country to take care of you when you retire, you're going to have a bad time. One of the biggest mistakes you can make in your 30s is not saving enough for retirement. The time will start flying by really quickly. Inflation goes even higher and the cost of living goes higher again. You cannot afford to not have an exit strategy. This isn't your parents' world anymore. More than half of millennials in the US can't even afford to start a family, let alone think of retirement. It's time to take some things seriously. Number 2, settling for a mediocre career. While it's true, you can always reinvent yourself and try different things throughout your life. You had your 20s to mess around and try things out, but once you hit 30, your interests change. Your expectation of life changes to mediocre should not be in your vocabulary. You can't hide behind work-life balance and use that as an excuse to do the bare minimum. You are 100% responsible for the life you build. Number 3, not prioritizing your health. You could get away with this in your 20s, but in your 30s, your body may not be as resilient as it once was. You can't afford to listen to it. It'll get harder and harder to get and stay in shape as you grow older. The sooner you start making this a priority, the better. But it's also not impossible to get fit when you're old, and people have done it, but they've done it because of the imminent threat of a literal death. We advise not getting to a point where you have to use that as your motivation. Be preventative about it. Start taking care of your body and your body will take care of you. But the reality is those relationships will slowly fade away if you don't invest anything in them. When people get older and grow up, responsibilities start taking control of their life. They tend to take things for granted, their old friendships included. That's how you get people who only message each other on birthdays and other events. Send the damn catch up with that friend. Host a dinner party. Be the one that brings people together. You'll find relationships that don't grow out of thin air. They need a lot of work, especially when you're an adult. Number 5, stop adapting. One of the biggest mistakes you can make in your 30s is to stop adapting. Your 20s are for experimenting, trying new things, and figuring yourself out. You've got some ideas of who you are and what you're good at, but those ideas need to be polished and nurtured. Number 6, taking stability for granted. By 30, you've matured enough to be your own person. It's the first time in your life you see some stability. You can pay for yourself, you can take care of things, and life starts to make a bit more sense. Don't take this for granted. If you do, it'll all go downhill from here. Now it's time to start putting brick over brick and build the life you want to live. Stability is the first step out of many, not the last step. You have resources. You have the means to do things. So do them. Number 7, not investing in your personal growth. If your 20s are for investing in yourself as a person, your 30s are for investing in yourself as a functioning adult. You should have enough resources and self-respect to want to be a better version of yourself. Your 30s are for this. Exactly. The vast majority of people completely stop growing up once they get to a certain level. They are considered good enough. Number 6, taking stability for granted. By 30, you've matured enough to be your own person. It's the first time in your life you see some stability. You can pay for yourself, you can take care of things, and life starts to make a bit more sense. Don't take this for granted. If you do, it'll all go downhill from here. Now it's time to start putting brick over brick and build the life you want to live. Stability is the first step out of many, not the last step. You have resources. You have the means to do things. So do them. Number 7, not investing in your personal growth. If your 20s are for investing in yourself as a person, your 30s are for investing in yourself as a functioning adult. You should have enough resources and self-respect to want to be a better version of yourself. Your 30s are for this. Exactly. The vast majority of people completely stop growing up once they get to a certain level. They are considered good enough. The worst thing you can do when going on a wrong path is to go full speed. Sometimes, even when you realize you've made a mistake, your pride won't let you disengage yourself from it. You don't want to be known as the one who made the mistake. So you commit to something you know is wrong for no reason at all, just to save face. It can be toxic relationships, shitty jobs, or moving to a place you don't actually like. Number 10, quitting too soon. By 30, you should know that anything worth having takes time to develop and grow. Pride will make you go full speed in the wrong direction, and quitting too soon will block you from ever knowing what direction to actually go in. It's a balance you need to figure out, and you need to expect some hardships along the way because they will happen. For example, if you make the decision to move to a new city because, It'll be better for you. It's entirely possible for the first few months to feel awkward and lonely. Whether it's starting a new business, pursuing a passion project, or taking on a challenging job opportunity, taking risks can help you discover new strengths, expand your comfort zone, and learn from your failures. It's important to assess the risks and rewards of any decision carefully, but don't let fear hold you back from taking a chance. Number 14. Stop talking to your parents. Not many of you realize this, but once you turn 30, you've already spent most of the time with your parents that you ever will. So some friendly advice. Give them a call more often, because it'll mean the world to them. For most of their lives, their whole life purpose was to provide for you so you could go out into the world and be your own person, and once that's done, they've got nothing to do anymore. They don't know what to do with their time. So they're just waiting around and hoping that you'll send them a sign. The only thing you should care about is playing your own game. As long as you can say that this year is better than your last year, and next year will be better than this year, you're good to go. You'll be making mistakes countless times in your life. It can't be avoided. But what you can do is take full responsibility for those mistakes and do your best to make up for them. If you neglected your health a lot, be responsible. Admit it, and do something about it. If your finances are a mess, be responsible. Admit it and do something about it. Most mistakes can be avoided, minimized, or easy to recover from. We're so glad you did. If you found value in today's video, please give us a like, hit that bell icon to never miss an upload. And hey, don't forget to subscribe.